Hello, everyone. It's Silvana with Family First Life, and today we have the visit of the amazing agency owner, Michael Pfeil, with Family First Life Allegiance. So thank you so much for being with us and visiting.
Man, everyone's got the clapping, right?
We're all
Hey, do you want me to tell you how to say my last name the right way?
Yeah.
Everyone gets it
Pfeil.
wrong. Oh, you can say it.
I
Okay.
was just seeing if you will correct me.
All right. You like saying feel?
Pfeil.
File. Okay.
So, Mike, you are visiting us from Maryland, and this week you've been to Colorado twice.
That's right. This is my second time. And, you know, on Monday, it was my first time ever. The only time I've ever been here is in a layover. And when I came here before, it was so cold here. And that's probably why I've never been back to Denver. My wife and I landed, and it was freezing, and we didn't have any jackets, and we wanted to go out and eat. And I just remember walking around a building, and the wind was so cold. And I said, I will never, ever go back to Denver again. And that was probably 10 years ago. So, yeah, Monday, other than that time, that was the only other time I was ever in Denver.
But Colorado is beautiful. You cannot say it's not.
It is beautiful, and it's much warmer now. I don't know if I would ever come back in the wintertime, but yeah, it was a bad experience the first time. But it is beautiful now, so I'm good.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
I appreciate it.
So you are traveling around the nation, not necessarily making a profit, but you're traveling to help agents, to introduce the business to possibly new agents who wants to join. Why are you doing this?
I feel almost an obligation, as probably most people do that come to FFL. You know, since coming here, and you know, I came back to the company in 2019, and since coming back to the company, it's changed my life so much. You know, financially speaking, and to be where I was in 2019, kind of to where things are today. You know, our culture of our company is just giving back. So you almost feel obligated to do so because the business has done, and not just the business, but the company has done so much for me. Anytime that I'm asked to do anything that could help other agents, I'm always very willing to do it. I'm very appreciative of what the company has given to me since, you know, coming back almost 3 years ago, that, yeah, whatever someone asks for, I'm always willing to jump up and help others. You know, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I feel that is the culture altogether, and a lot of people say the same thing, but you got to live it to experience, to believe in it, because it's an amazing place to be, right?
Absolutely.
So just tell whoever's watching this video today, like a little bit about Mike Pfeil.
Okay.
What were you doing before? How long you been doing insurance?
Okay. I can do it. You want the whole thing, right? Well, you know, I got into the insurance business 8 years ago. It was a little stint before that, back in 2012. I had a mortgage company for about 10 years. Things got bad, and it was going bad. And so I got into the business a little bit back in 2012. I was at a company, very, very low comp. So when we talk here about the high comp at FFL, no contracts, I've seen the other side of it for a short period of time, and it was enough to where I saw it where I didn't want to be part of the business. I was at a company where the comp that was paid was 55%. We were like 35% on final expense. And after experiencing that for a very short period of time, it was probably 5 or 6 months, I said, I can't do this. I don't know how people can make any money here. So I said, you know, let me kind of figure out and try to get back into the mortgage business and make things happen. But back then, things were changing so rapidly in the mortgage business that finally in 2015, I saw Frank Euphemia, who he had opened an office probably 2 miles from where I was currently working. It's still in the mortgage business. Things were, you know, like still moving along, but not the way I wanted them to. But I was like, hey, what's going on? You know, I saw you at the other company. Now I see you got a completely different company. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. So went over to his office and talked to him. And that's kind of where I learned about Family First Life. I understood that things were different. You know, there was high comp. There was no contract, you know, vested renewals day one. You know, everything was completely different. So I was like, you know what, I can do this. You know, the compensation is twice what we were making at the other company. This I can do. So at that point, I made a decision just to completely get out of the mortgage business. I wasn't one of those people that said, well, I'm going to do it part-time and try to figure it out. I just put my back against the wall. I walked away from it and then came to Family First the first time in 2015. So my story, I always tell it because it is kind of unique. You know, I left the company in 2018 and then came back in 2019. I left in 2018 because another company made just all these promises And, we hear things here about how we have great leads, we have support, we have amazing culture, the leadership. We hear all those things, but you really don't understand it until you experience what it's like on the other side. So being at that other company, yes, the comp was equivalent, but the comp means nothing without the proper culture and the proper leadership. Someone at the top who has a vision of where the company is supposed to be. I don't care if I was making 200% comp. I would have never had the success at that other company that I was at for almost a year that I had here at FFL. Because if it was true with the compensation and so forth, when I was there, I could have done the same thing. We could have built a team that was helping over 1,000 families a month there, but it didn't happen. The team that we did have completely fell apart. People weren't producing like some of our best, or some of our top producers. The production went way down. And I just think it's our environment that we're part of that kind of brings out the best in people. It's a culture of winning, a culture of wanting others to succeed. And that when that doesn't exist, and you are right, you have to kind of be in it and live it to be able to experience it. But it's what we have here and why this place is so special. It's what makes it what it is. It is the culture, and you don't understand it unless you're part of it.
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, the comp is phenomenal to get properly paid for what we do. But what I believe is the biggest asset of FFL, it's the relationship we have with each other and having everyone, help each other, not just in the business, but in everything in life. I have a lot of people that have just heard me in a tough day or reach out for whatever reasons, right? The other thing that I love about FFL, and you experienced different companies, so did I. What I think is essential in FFL is the fact that only people that are out there in appointment, the guys are in the trenches, are the ones allowed to train, right?
That's right.
Versus someone sitting behind a desk for 10 years and doesn't know anything, right?
That's it.
So that is super important. So tell me a little bit here so I don't take all your day, because we have to go to Colorado Springs.
Yep.
What does Family First Life means to you? The business itself and the words Family First.
It's what we always hear about. When you're part of Family First Life, our job first is to put the families that we meet with first, and then the agents that we work with, we put them first. Those are the people that we're looking out for. So I think when we have that, that's the culture of this company. That's what motivates everyone is take care of the agents we meet with, but then also take care of the agents that are going out there and meeting with the families. That's what the company means to me. I haven't been in the field like I was up until October of last year. It slowed down quite a bit, but when I'm in the field, that was always the first thing that I thought about, taking care of the people that I met with. And then as agents, as the agency began to grow, it was always, what can we do to help the agents be successful? That's always on our mind. And what Sean always talks about is that three-stool approach. Everything that we do has to be good for the client, it has to be good for the agent, and it can't hurt the company. So he never put that out there and said it has to be good for the company. He just says it can't hurt the company. And I think it's a great philosophy to live by, and people that we talk about, all the people that aren't part of it probably don't understand it. They see all this stuff, they probably think we're crazy. Probably, I hear people say we're part of a cult or whatever, but until you're part of it, you really don't understand it. But when people do come in it and they embrace it and they want to be part of it, they have an opportunity to build a business as big as they want. The other thing it means to me too is for people that are coming in here that want to completely change their life, they want to get out of the situation they're in, they want to achieve some sort of financial freedom, that's what the company means to me. It means that anyone can come here and do it if they're willing to work for it. We a lot of times put things out there, and I think sometimes people say, "Whoa, it's so simple. It's easy." Like, I think that everything that we do is very simple. It's not easy because it does require work, especially in the beginning. But truly, anyone that is out there and they want to change their life, they want to change their financial situation, they can truly do it. Case in point, last night I was talking to a young guy, 19 years old. I'm going to interview him on Monday. 19 years old. He helps every month 40 to 50 families, only 19 years old. And when you hear something like that, and he came from a background where he was building barns, right? That has nothing to do with sales, nothing to do with financial services or insurance. And he's out there building barns, but yet he comes to this company, and the first month he's involved, he helps over 20 families. And then he's only been here since February. How can that be? So that means that anyone can do it if you have the proper mindset. When I was talking to him, I was like, what are your agents doing? Like, what are you seeing? How are you training people? And he was kind of running through his day, and he's talking about people that are on his team, and he just goes, the people that aren't having success are the people that have absolutely zero work ethic. And I go, that's right. You know, when I came back here in 2019, that's all it was. It was 7 days a week. It was a lot of work, but it's not like you have to do it forever. You have to do it long enough to get, to build things and get things going, but it doesn't have to be forever. And I think when people hear that story, they go away from it. But why wouldn't you give up 6 months of and you're not completely giving it up. It's just you got to work really hard in the beginning. And when you do that, you can change your life forever, but you don't have to work like that forever.
Yeah, that makes it easier to help a lot of agents. Well, of course, our family come first, but just go ahead and help other people too. Like you said, it's not forever.
That is right.
So, Mike, if someone is watching this video and is interested in joining Allegiance and being mentored by Mike Pfeil, what should they do?
They can go to my social media. They go to Instagram, and the last name is spelled weird, MPFEIL _FFL. Or join FFL-ALL on Instagram, or then call my cell phone, 410-908-1953. Any of those ways they can get in touch with me.
So everyone watching, it's a great place to work at, a lot of great people to work with. And Mike is a phenomenal trainer, a great manager, agency owner. And we're here to help those that want to change their life and want to go ahead and help people that are asking for our help. So tune in for our next podcast. And if you have any questions, ffl-veritas.com. Thank you, Mike, for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.